Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to all the witnesses this morning that have brought testimony forward. I'd like to start with Mr. Bylsma. Is that okay, sir? All right, thank you. Your testimony was excellent and heartbreaking. I heard the story about it not going to be a generational business, and although Conservatives will always want our highways safe, I come from a generational business, and there's nothing more heartbreaking than when a leader says that. So I just needed to make that statement. You said, sir, oh, and by the way, thank you for being the chair of the Ontario Transportation. You actually represent Morris Transportation as well as Wolverine Transportation back down from my riding. You said in your testimony, sir, or one of the answers, that you've been chasing up the chain for likely a decade. And a decade, ironically, is 10 years of the Liberals being in power. My question for you is, the association, have you met with the ministers? Have you met with government officials? Have they reached out to you? And if so, what have they said?
Absolutely. I would say the Ontario Trucking Association and the Canadian Trucking Alliance have great relationships with all levels of government, and right from the Ministry of Transportation and Finance and everyone else. They've all been made aware of this over the last 10 years. There's no one of substance that actually can do something about it that doesn't know about it. To get it granular and exactly who knows what, you'd have to ask our staff who's at the back of the room if you want to talk to them after this dialogue.
Okay, so everybody's made aware of it, but no action has been done.
Correct. We're starting, like I mentioned, the 5 things in Ontario. That there's a lot more going on than that, but those are the most, I would say, effective things that we're seeing the greatest results from. And so that's why I just wanted to list that, because there needs to be more done, but I think it needs to be in collaboration with both the federal and every provincial level.
Okay, thank you. And this question is for both yourself and for Mr. McKee. So is there a certain sector of bad actors, meaning is there a certain consumable that is shipped in a certain sector that there's more bad actors in than others? My thought process is, we hear yesterday that Donald Trump is saying now we're going to take a whole bunch of your auto away from you. And so that's a whole bunch of transport jobs that aren't going to be happening when every part that for every car goes back and forth across the busiest international border crossing 7 times. So that's a whole bunch of jobs that will be lost. Is there a certain sector that needs to be targeted?
If I may, I can speak to that very quickly. So anecdotally, for my members, we notice it, they're most heavily impacted. It would be what we would call general freight or dry van. So your dry 53-foot trailer and refrigerated. So we're not seeing a proliferation of these companies so much in the heavy and oversized sector of our industry and the more complex loads. We're seeing it with the general freight, the I don't want to throw out names because I don't want to paint someone with a brush wrongly, but grocery suppliers or what have you that are transporting loads from Ontario to Atlantic Canada and vice versa. We're seeing a little bit of it infiltrate the ports as well. We service major ports in Atlantic Canada, but for the most part, I would say it is the dry van and the refrigerated sectors who are suffering the most. And my colleagues may disagree in their own experience.
Mr. Bylsma?
Yes. As far as you mentioning folks like Wolverine and Morris, I think On Freight is down there as well. When I speak to those colleagues, yeah, they feel like there's a lot of this misclassification and abuse going on in the automotive sector. I play in the general freight markets. It's less than truckload. I'll move furniture, I'll move nuts and bolts, I'll move kitchen cabinetry or whatever. So it's always something different. But we do see that as well in the general freight market as well. So I would say dry van. Some of our colleagues that are into more specialized tanker and oversized, they're starting to see it a little bit, but not to the degree that it is in the dry van.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.